Hello, welcome. Sorry, I'm really late tonight. I sort of got carried away. You might hear the printer in the background. I'm currently preparing stuff for when I go back to school next week, and I'm into Tuesday, and the week's getting away at me, and I'm going, oh, I have to get this done, and I have to get this done. So I'm desperately trying to get stuff done. I've also just managed to get myself a discount with a music shop too, so I can buy all my stuff from there now with a discount, because I seem to be buying lots and lots and lots of music from them at the moment, because I've got new kids starting, kids progressing. It's so I'm just trying to get everything sorted out. So, but how are you? Back to school already? So we only have 2 weeks. We have, because we're in our winter. Hello, Lulu. Hello, Renelle. So we're in the middle of our winter. It is cold. We've actually had one of the coldest starts to winter for us. There have been snowing places where it shouldn't snow. We haven't had snow. Hello, Mama Kay. So today we want to look at what happens when you tell people how to vote or how to think. And we know that this is what cult leaders like to do. And we often say about cult, but she also has cut out some of her posts, and she's deleted some. But fortunately, shocked that I can comment here. I've been putting time out for her. Oh, wow, really? Oh, look, you'd have to do a lot to get timed out here. Although I do have the, because my nephew comes on, as you know, I do have the profanity filter on, because he knows enough swear words without reading them. So, and he should be well and truly in bed, so he shouldn't actually disrupt us tonight. So we've got a couple of posts here. Plus, she's made a big deal about Jana Duggar wearing shorts. Heaven forbid. I mean, stop the presses. So she's on about Thomas Cook here. Political donation explained by Progressive Turnout Project. It shows a donor listed as Thomas Cooks with the government's address gave a $15 donation to Progressive Turnout Project, a Democratic-aligned political action committee, on Inauguration Day in 2021 when Cook was 17. Said in an email the group had received a donation in response to an email about tuning into the inauguration, and that the email address associated with the contribution only made the one contribution and was unsubscribed from our list 2 years ago. We unequivocally condemn political violence in all of its forms. We denounce anyone who chooses violence over peaceful police action. Later that year, a week after turning 18, he registered to vote as a Republican. So they matched his name. He only cast the ballot once in the midterm general election. There's still many. I mean, there's just so much. I was hearing today that the law enforcement got nothing from his computer. Nothing from his phone. There's nothing. They're hoping his computer might give something away, but so far they have no idea. So she said the update date gave, I don't know, we did that. I don't know. I mean, there's still the conspiracy theories that was all rigged, and I don't know. It's just one of those questions. A former classmate, we saw that one yesterday. I've gone too far. Yep, that's it. A political contribution made by Thomas Cooks to Progressive Turnout has made a lot of waves. So she said sharing for content edited, and she shut off comments. She's sharing for context. So this, again, comments have been turned off because she got slammed. So this was about Stop Project 25. I care about women, LGBTQ, children, immigrants, people of colour, people with disabilities, non-Christian believers, freedom of religion, freedom of speech, and people who are faced with economic hardships. For these reasons, I'm urging my followers to educate yourselves on Project 2025. The project is designed to overthrow our democracy and create an autocracy with a single leader. The agenda will be to stop anyone other than Christian nationalists to control our country. This is a radical movement that is a blueprint of what will happen if we elect a Republican president. The goal is to strip women of their rights, only allow white men to be in positions of power, and discriminate against Jewish, Muslim, and non-Christian faiths. Everyone has a right to vote, but no single person or group has the right to take away the rights of hundreds of millions of Americans. We are not a Christian nation. We are a nation built upon the freedom of religion. I thought you were one nation under God. That's the only, I mean, I don't know much about the American, but I do know that you're one nation under God. So that would imply some type of religious thing. Currently, the GOP is claiming they do not want to implement Project 2025. This is false. This playbook is exactly what they want to implement. Do not let them gaslight you. I care about democracy and freedom. My business is built upon the harms of dangerous cults and patriarchal systems. Under Project 2025, media like mine would not be allowed. A free society is what we should seek, respecting one another and allowing everyone to have rights. Project 2025 must be stopped. Trump lied when he rebuked Project 2025. These men are his formal advisors. He wants to take over the country and never leave his position of power. Stop Project 2025. This is what Katie wrote. Lulu says, I think Thomas wanted to be a hero for the haters after being a nerd and being picked on his entire high school career. I mean, I actually felt sorry for the kid to hear that he'd been relentlessly bullied throughout his whole school career. I actually felt for him as somebody who was bullied in high school. I felt for him. And when you don't fit in, you try and do something you can. There is that to try and do something where you become famous, I guess. And Lily says, we're founded on Christian principles. So again, comments are being switched off because she got absolutely slammed, and people have those comments. Jim Duggo clearly wants everyone to see he's not controlling and does not care about women wearing pants. Jana showed off her tiny house, which is actually not a house. It was a cheap office trailer. The house has no kitchen, central air, or heat. She has no laundry room. How can she tell that by that? How does she know from that spot? In order to eat, Jana has to walk a few feet to her parents' kitchen. Based on what she showed, I'm sure the trailer isn't approved for occupancy. The Duggars are amazing, sticking their kids in cheap trailers that aren't approved to live in. Jana's place is cute, but it's literally right outside of her parents' patio door. She also wears shorts and a tank top. Hello, Cal. Well, I mean, we've been talking the last few nights. We start with this, and then we end up with, we've been talking about the Trump's attempt. So again, we've got that, and that's been it. So I have been watching different things, and today, I think for me, the biggest issue I've got at the moment is the claims that everybody has actually, that people actually saw him and did nothing about it. That people they were actually in the building, rather on top of the building. And I've seen the footage of the people talking about letting law enforcement know that he's there. I was watching a former Secret Service agent say that obviously there was a communication break. Well, as far as he was concerned, the Secret Service was responsible for all those buildings and making sure that there were people there. So there's some issues. So here's some of the comments that I mean, this is why you really got to be careful about what you talk about. First, we posted one photo, now we're quoting CNN. I'm kind of losing respect for you, somebody says to her. I started a grandchild Pinterest board years ago before I came here. I understand, I have to be honest. When people say just saying, I find it super rude. Why would you find it rude? It's just a question of saying, it's just like saying, in my opinion. Again, Congress makes the laws in this country. She said, not under this blueprint, educate yourself. Trump has already stated he has nothing to do with Project 2025. Are you implying he's lying? And if this was his goal, wouldn't his last presidency already prove that? She said, yes. I'm saying that he's not being honest. He 100% wants this to happen. Have you had a conversation with him? I'm confused. Katie goes, he's 100% lying. You need to educate yourself. Matt had to put an announcement. Because, yes, I heard that he was wearing is it a demolition shirt? Yes, I saw that he came out and renounced it and said that, yes, he was wearing that shirt. The other thing is he wasn't trying to hide himself. He wasn't in camouflage or anything. On After Your Post, Girl, take this down. You cannot urge people to vote because you have an opinion of who they should or shouldn't. You are wrong and you have a twisted mentality. I know of what cults are, what they aren't. I know this is right and what is wrong. This country needs God, Jesus. There's so much crime because there's been way too many yes to all the ignorant things of this country. It's only getting worse the more you vote left. You need to vote on righteous candidates like Conservatives, says this person. So there you go. Yes, so I saw that the guy from Demolitia came out and renounced it because he was wearing one of his shirts. Do you think that he would have to have had a mental illness, or do you think that people have said that he may have been paid to do it? Why would he do that? I feel sorry for the parents because they're getting hounded. We don't know. That's why killing him wasn't necessarily great, because we at this stage they can't find any evidence. I mean, he did have stuff in his car. Could it be that there is a mental illness? So a Texas YouTuber has broken his silence after it was revealed the Trump shooter was wearing a T-shirt from his merchandise line. He was seen in a Demolition Ranch apparel after he was shot dead during the assassination attempt at a campaign rally in Butler, Pennsylvania. Photos circulating in hours since Crooks fired a series of bullets at the former president, shown wearing the grey Demolition Ranch short-sleeve T-shirt with an American flag on the arm of block lettering. The brand is linked to Matt Carricker's. There you go. There's the picture. At least they blocked out his face. Which is devoted to showcasing guns and shooting various types of weaponry. Now, the founder of Demolition Ranch, which boasts 12 million subscribers, has his reaction to learning Crooks was in his brand. So that's what he was wearing. Yeah, look, I feel sorry for his parents as well. What the hell? Carricker wrote Saturday evening a Facebook post. After finding out about Crooks' endorsement of his channel, Carricker took to X to explain how he'd been contacted by members of the media asking about his connection and if he ever spoke to the shooter. Last night was crazy. I've got news stations calling me asking if I ever spoke with the shooter. What the hell, he tweeted. He calls himself the king of Demolitia, has been running his YouTube channel for the last 13 years and now receives billions of views. So sorry your logo was possibly attached to this. You aren't attached to these actions at all, bro. Stay positive. Keep the good stuff you do. Unfortunately, we can't control who wears our merch in the world, but people that know you know that you don't condone acts such as this. At the end of the day, this was a piece of trash that happened to throw on a DR shirt. So yeah, he would often wear. Well, I mean, and the reports are that he didn't even make the school rifle team because he was a poor shot. Yes, I feel sorry for the parents as well, and I mean, I believe that they're trying to. They don't want to make a comment until they've sort of worked out what on earth is going on. I mean, it's one of these things that is just odd. And I did read a report today that the father had actually noticed that had reported his son missing and noticed one of his guns missing and was thought and had thought that he was going to do something to himself actually, but nobody thought that he was going to do what he did. CBS is reporting that they've gone back to the house. They're trying to find a motive. They can't find a motive. Imagine having your house gone through. I haven't seen if she who shall remain nameless has done it. I don't know. I haven't seen it. But investigators are canvassing the Pittsburgh area and trying to figure out what on earth happened. At 10 a.m. on Monday, some SUVs rolled up to the street. You think the motive's obvious? What is it, Cal? They're continuing to process the scene. They split up in pairs. There's a sister as well. Back to Trump. You think it's all got to do with Trump? So are you of this? Well, there's two theories out there that I've seen. One theory was it was the Democrats. The other one, I've been seeing posts about it being an inside job. But why would a kid, and I call him a kid because he's 20 and he's a kid to me. So they're just trying to find, they found rudimentary bond making materials near where the family lives, near the house. The family's cooperating, but they don't know much. Apparently, Cook's father called the police after the shooting. I think he may. I mean, imagine watching the TV and then seeing a picture and like seeing what looks like your child. But I think I'm sympathetic to the parents because I am a parent myself, and I know that you can only raise your kids a certain way. At some point in time, what they do has to be, you can't really do much once they're out. There's not much, you can only do what you can. Well, what I will say, whatever it is, it's probably helped Trump with his campaign. So the gun was bought. He was a nobody. Exactly. Yes. Hello, Laura. How are you? He was a nobody, and now everybody knows who he was. So it was a rifle bought 11 years ago. His dad had something like 20 guns in the house, I read. So the father purchased the gun in 2013. They've assessed the cell phone and technical to analyze his electronic devices. They found a little information pointing to a motive. So they do not have any meaningful, they don't have any meaningful evidence of an ideology driving Cooks to commit the act. He appeared to act alone. The president and vice president were briefed on Monday. The agency faces questions how Cooks managed to get on a roof building outside the rally's security perimeter and open fire. Video was taken just before the attack, shows spectators trying to alert police to the shooter's presence. FBI agent in charge said Cooks used an AR-style rifle chambered in 5.56mm, a common caliber for such weapons. They said the weapon was identified and traced using records from a gun dealership that is no longer operating. On the morning of the shooting, he bought 50 rounds of ammunition at a local gun store. The store owner and employees declined to comment when visited by by the media. They offered a statement that said they have a prerogative to cooperate with law enforcement. We are thankful that President Trump was not assassinated, and our hearts and prayers go to all the victims of this horrible incident. Crooks lived with his parents. He worked at a nursing home and graduated in May with an associate's degree in engineering science from the community college. Like all Americans, we're shocked and saddened by the horrific turn of events that took place, the community college said in a statement. It expressed relief that Trump is safe and offered condolences to the family of Corey Comparator, the 50-year-old engineer, firefighter, and father. He'd planned to enroll at Robert Morris University in Pittsburgh this fall, according to a university spokesperson. Hello, short order. Hello, Chanel. Is it Chanel? I feel bad for the parents because there are 24 reporters camped out across from their house. I live like 15 minutes from there. It's a very nice neighborhood. So he was part of a proof-based mathematics book club that met weekly, according to a former classmate. While Crooks was interested in math, the classmate said he'd looked more of physics. He said he was reserved, rarely talking about politics at school, and political leaning more moderate to central right. When they learned that Crooks had been identified as the gunman, he texted Crooks saying he was sorry someone was trying to impersonate him. He didn't receive a text back. Then Crooks saw the photo of him shot on the building. If I had to speculate, I would assume this was a suicide by a cop, said the classmate who considered Crooks a friend. Tom was a good guy. I assumed he was going to live a good life. I don't know what drove him to do this. I worry about our democracy, his family, the Crooks. I feel awful for the firefighter's family. In Cook's hometown of Bethel Park, residents on Monday had grown wary of journalists who had descended in their community in search of the answers about the would-be assassin. So that Trump, well, I think it's just going to embolden him more, isn't it? That's very interesting. Where he thought it was and I said the word suicide by cop. I thought that was very interesting that that's what he decided to do, if that's the way he decided to do it. So a friend, speaking to a friend of his. There's lots of conspiracy theories out there. I can't believe all of them. And of course, now that Trump has picked his vice president, seems to be a popular choice. I'm assuming that it's still going to be Biden-Harris. I haven't seen anything. Although there's been criticism of Vance as well, because he's been very critical of Trump in the past. But you know, the VP pick has had a few things to say about Trump. Not going, yes, I was following that. All my feed, particularly Twitter feed, is all about all the conspiracy theories, all the yes, everything that Vance has said. It's bizarre. And then there's the allegation that the head of the Secret Service was actually got her job as a recommendation of Jill Biden. And someone's just posted a clip where she said in 2022 that Jill Biden, let's have a look at this one. It says was released in 2022. where she confirmed she knew the Bidens for several years.
Us, we just kind of fit into the plan. I mean, we did have certain requirements with the president that we wanted to make sure that we addressed, but we have a great working relationship with them that's been fostered over numerous years. And so I think the visit went very well on our side, and it seemed to have gone very well for Britain.
Oh, lessons learned from
us, we just kind of fit into the plan. I mean, we did have certain requirements with the president that we wanted to make sure that we addressed, but we have a great working relationship with them that's been fostered over numerous years. And so I think the visit went very well on our side, and it seemed to have gone very well.
So that's what's been. It was released on September 21, where she confirmed she knew the Bidens for several years and fostered a relationship with them, a working relationship with them. But anyway. Yeah, there's lots of stuff out at the moment, really. There are questions to be answered, though. I mean, there's just... And hasn't he also had a reprieve for one of the cases as well? They threw something out and said it was presidential privilege or something. So it's only New York that is going to be a problem now. The other one has to go back to another court. And by the time it goes through the system, he could be president and he can throw it all out. So yes, that's it. The classified documents case. Thank you, Laura. That the evidence was essentially collected from staff or senior staff members, and it's been dismissed. And because the prosecutor was unlawfully appointed. Now, the thing is that could affect all the other cases that the guy has prosecuted as well. That leaves the door open for them. So, judge ruling prosecutor Jack Smith was unlawfully appointed. And apparently unlawfully appointed because the Constitution, but is 100% dementia. Get real. His wife after the debate was so cringe. To them, as if of course, his wife, the way that she spoke to him was very demeaning. And it was, oh, what a great job you did, Jo. You answered all the questions. So in the Constitution, it outlines how appointments should be made. And apparently it's supposed to be his appointment was supposed to be under the Constitution of America, which I don't know. I've just been watching some stuff on it today. But apparently wasn't ratified by Congress. And hence why he did not have authority to bring the case. So the problem was apparently he's alleged to have sent all these documents from the White House to his house. Now, whether they were what they were, yes, the 25th Amendment. You reckon they'll do him? You reckon? So the 25th Amendment 25. Okay, let's have a look at this. However, when there is a whenever there is, but it would mean that the vice president would automatically become president. In the case of removal of the president from office or his death or resignation, the vice president shall become president. Whenever there is a vacancy in the office of vice president, the president shall nominate a vice president who shall take office upon confirmation of both a majority vote both houses of Congress. So, I mean, that sort of had to come about after JFK, right? So if the president can no longer serve, the vice president becomes president. If both the president and the vice president can no longer serve, the Speaker of the House serves. So they would have to, then vote? Would the Democrats have to take a vote and say he's unfit for office? How would that? That's how it works. Okay. All right. Okay, so we've got here, I'm just trying to get my head around it because, I don't know American constitutional law. I'm a little bit better at Australian constitutional law, considering I did a unit on it. So it says, Section 3 allowed the president to declare an inability to government. Section 4 is the most complex. Who besides the president may be able to declare the president unable to perform duties? So it's Section 4. The text grants this power to the vice president along with the majority of presidential cabinet members, though it also allows Congress to designate other officers instead. Congress also has the final say if the president disputes the declaration and maintains a fitness for office, requiring a 2/3 vote to determine that the president is truly incapable of governing. This section is similar to the impeachment process in allowing a sitting president to be relieved of power by other government officials, but unlike impeachment, Section 4 only allows a president to be suspended rather than removed from office, with the vice president becoming acting president until the next election. So, although Section 4 has never been used, the possibility has been raised. Most recently in the aftermath of the attack on the US Capitol by Trump, Democrats and some Republicans called on Vice President Mike Pence to invoke the 25th Amendment, citing Trump's apparent unwillingness to intervene or use his presidential powers to stop the riot. The amendment was never invoked. Democrats initiated the impeachment proceedings later on. Now it is Vice President Kamala Harris facing calls to invoke the 25th Amendment to relieve Biden of power, including a formal resolution filed by Republican Representative Chip Roy. But many of the calls have come from supporters of the Democratic Party who argue that by doing so would assuage voter concerns about Biden's age and give Harris more legitimacy going into the election as acting president. It sets a high threshold for removing democratically elected presidents. So you can't see them doing it. So The issue that I have is what's the benchmark for this? Do they want? I mean, is it better to evoke the 25th Amendment, put in Harris as the acting president, get through the election, possibly save some face, or as a president, your vice president's a total line. She's not going to turn on him, same as Pence wouldn't. Or do you just realize you're going to go down? It's no benchmark. It's never happened. But do you think that Harris's ego could get in the way? She could be the first female person of color president. She'd tick two boxes. I know. I mean, she'd be the first female president and a person of color. And I know Obama, as no, she knows she's disliked. So could Congress invoke the 25th on the pair of them then? They will not get elected whoever they choose? I'm just glad I don't have to I'm just glad I don't have to worry about it. We've got enough clowns in Australia to deal with. The other allegation that I heard, another conspiracy theory that I heard, was that they had the Secret Service B team in. They actually had a whole pile of temporary people in. So that hasn't gone down very well. And I also heard that who's the independent? Robert Kennedy. He has now had his security ramped up as well. So I'm assuming he's running for president as an independent, is he? RFK Jr., yeah. What's his chances? None? So it said, the team for US presidential candidate Robert F. Kennedy Jr. says he's still waiting for a decision on requests for Secret Service protection after the recent attempted assassination attempt of Donald Trump. His campaign team has requests for protection have been knocked back by the Department of Homeland Security several times. The independent candidate's father, Bobby Kennedy, and Uncle President John F. Kennedy were both infamously assassinated in the 60s. Former President Trump narrowly, and so there's concerns about how he was able to get so close. So we have a pending request, but I believe that Biden approved that himself today. So so he's 70 himself. They're all older people. He spent $3 million on security so far and owes another 2.6. His father, a former US Senator and Attorney General, was gunned down while campaigning to be a Democratic president nominee in 1968. He was ambushed and fatally shot in the kitchen of an LA hotel delivering a speech to his supporters. 5 years earlier, Bobby's brother, JFK, was assassinated while driving in a motorcade to an official visit to Dallas, Texas in 1963. He's ranked an outsider. He's known for his controversial views and conspiracy theories. But yes, I believe that he's not the same for everybody. Yes. Well, that's the other thing, Laura. Where are the young ones? Where are the young ones? That's what I'm not I don't understand why you've got all these old people running for president. Where are all the young ones? So yeah, so here is Biden has ordered the Secret Service protection for RFK Jr. The old ones, and isn't that the same with a lot of life though? Someone's been doing the job for 150 years. I'm being sarcastic there, and somebody wants to come in and give it a go. Trump's named a VP. He's young, 39. Well, yes, that's good. So he has directed the Secret Service to protect independent presidential campaign Robert F. Kennedy Jr. In light of this weekend's events, the president has directed me to work with the Secret Service to provide protection to Robert Kennedy Jr. The Department of Homeland Security Secretary said. Kennedy is still trying to appear on ballots across the paper, and his presidential aspirations are a long shot. He's ordered an independent review of Trump's Saturday rally and law enforcement's handling the situation. So what do you reckon it's going to say? Who is going to be held responsible? Does it come down to the Secret Service at the end of the day, or is it going to be local law enforcement? Or is it another case of understaffed? Yes, the oldies know a lot of people. I mean, it's the same in politics. I mean, it's the same if you look at even Australia and how they choose people to run for seats. It's about who you know. I mean, you want to know a really great example? Our mate, Bruce Lerman, didn't even have a degree. And yet was an advisor for defense. Because he knew the right people, he was able to get a cushy job in Parliament. Hello? Oh, did you hear Brittany Higgins is expecting a child? Brittany Higgins is expecting. Finally, some good news. Unless, of course, I was going to call her Dragon Lady, doesn't try and destroy her life again. What's her name? I can't think of it. Last I heard, Biden gave his to the president, his family wishes the Reagan. Did he really say Reagan family? Sorry, it's Linda Reynolds. Yeah. Did he really say that? Actually, Media Watch was good. because it talked about whether the media. Oh, that's good. Whether the media has done a disservice. We've got Keir Starmer, 50 Shades of Beige. Oh, he's a sir, isn't he? Keir, he's a sir, isn't he, sir? Oh, he's a barrister as well. Yeah, look, I'm a bit slow, Cal. It took me a bit of chance to get there. Think about it. He doesn't know which college he finished. He barely finished elementary school and got a diploma, and no one twitches an eye. He was a misread. So, yeah, it's all about, I mean, and that's what it is in this game. Even, it's definitely a case of who you know. Look, I'm discovering that with jobs, the more jobs I apply for, I'm not because I'm getting told, you interview very well. And Lily says it says something that we weren't sure if it was a joke. Never know what Biden is talking about. That's a good point, Lily, is that it was so outrageous. It was it was so outrageous. It was, maybe he did actually say it. But Media Watch Australia was saying that the media that have been surrounding Biden have always downplayed all the mistakes he's made. And one of the media persons said, because if they actually reported the truth, they didn't want to give Trump any legitimacy. But now it's got so bad that they can't hide the fact, and they're all turning on Biden, all the media now. But yet they've been protecting him for so long. And now they're looking like idiots. Yeah, so it was a very interesting point. Yeah. So yeah, on my last day of holidays, on my last few days of holidays, I've been, watching stuff. I also watched WWE today too. That's good. That's my outlet. That's my have outright lie by the direction of power to be. They are idiots. That's right. And I mean, and that is totally what the media is not supposed to. They're supposed to report truth. It's sad that they're puppeting a man and making everybody look bad, says Lulu. And interesting, because if you look at the relentlessness, I mean, that they've gone after Trump, everything, Trump's just got to blow his nose and they're all over it. But they seem to be covering for Biden. How many things have happened around Biden? Remember he fell down the stairs, going up the stairs, and it's so Biden is the oldest US president to date. SD says, I remember in the news told the truth, whether we wanted to hear it or not. Correct. I mean, their job is to report the facts, not tell you how you think. This is what happened, this is what happened, this is what happened. Biden fell down the stairs today. People are questioning whether he's right for the job. We've not had honest media in any country for decades, and this is a result. They think we're little kids. And that's why you've got people like Katie Joy, who's telling people that you shouldn't be voting for whatever it is, and people are calling her out. It's not her job to tell people how to vote. Or it's not my job to tell you how to vote. I can have an opinion, and I'm more than happy to tell you what I think. And when people say to me, oh, who do you think, what are your thoughts on the presidential election? I will say, my opinion is America's in trouble. But you have to, and they go, but you have to choose one. And I said, well, yeah, you have to choose one, but I don't have to choose one. However, you would have to seriously think, has Biden got another 4 years left in him? He could be, I mean, when he didn't get the president of Ukraine's name right, I mean, look, the US will be okay. I still remember when he didn't remember, oh yeah, they are, no choice for us, me Aussies. I mean, at least they get to choose the president. We vote in a party, and the party chooses their leader. So you think Biden needs a decent night's sleep, Laura? That's why we had the Gillard Rudd years, because they kept out in the media. You need to have good people around you. So, Laura says, at this rate, the cast of Sesame Street would think would be great for presidency. Lily B says, I don't understand how anyone could think Biden is a viable option at this point. And November, I believe, for order. Now, how do you think the two vice presidents, would go? Is it Vance against Harris? It's to be held on Tuesday, the 5th of November, 2024. Too soon? Biden is definitely sleeping now. Well, didn't he say he didn't want meetings after a certain time? So this is apparently, so December 2022, this graph, this is from the Economist. And it's Biden 41, Trump 40, Biden 44, Trump 41. And then it's like May 2023, their level. Get to January 24, Trump's ahead, and now Trump's at 46. On July the 14th, Trump is at 46, Biden's at 43. So, but it's still months away. So so they've got the Democratic National Convention in August the 19th. At the moment, there's the Republican National Conference. September 10th is the second presidential debate. And the 5th of November is Election Day. The 6th of January is the certification of results, and the 20th of January will be the inauguration. So you've got an 81-year-old and a 78-year-old. That's why he's called Sleepy Joe. So here is a moment when Biden forgot the Prime Minister of Australia's name. It was quite amusing, actually. This was, when was this? 2 years ago. It's also got a former British Prime Minister. I don't believe any of the statistics from it. It's too easy to throw some numbers that are close. It reminds me of our last referendum here in Oz. It was not. That's true. But remember, there was one side also had lots of media and lots of help, and the other side had their backs to the wall. Joe wanted illegals to vote. Yeah, well, that's true. So this is this one.
And I want to thank that fellow down under. Thank you very much, pal. Appreciate it, Mr. Prime Minister. I'm honored today to be joined by two of America's closest allies, Australia and the United Kingdom, to launch a new phase of the trilateral security cooperation among our countries. As Prime Minister Morrison and Prime Minister Johnson said, I want to thank you for this partnership, your vision as we embark together on this strategic mission.
There you go. He forgot the name. And then he must have gone to auto cue, that fellow down under. That fellow down under. And then he must have started on the auto cues because he called him Mr. Morrison. That fellow down under. One of my favourite moments. How's things in the West, Cal? That place with kangaroos, yes. I find it interesting that the King and Queen are going to Canberra, New South Wales. At Canberra, they're just going to see all the hot air of the politicians. Hey, I've solved the energy problem. We just have to, all the hot air the politicians blow in Canberra, we just have to bottle it. I reckon we can power the nation with that. Chilly at the moment, midwinter. We've been having frost, which hasn't been good. It's been cold. $15. Oh, that's warm. We just bought some 368 billion subs from the States, and he calls him that fellow down under. Correct. Yes. I know. He's giving you all this money. Actually, Paul Keating was very much against that deal because he said we were the ones paying for it and they were getting the money. Paul Keating was not very happy about that deal. Sort of agree with him. We were footing the bill. It's sorry, it's 12 degrees at the moment, so we're not much cooler than you, but it got it's going to get down to about 8 degrees, so it's a warmer than normal evening. I wasn't happy either by the subs. It's not us who's going to be directing them if they're needed correct. So it's 10.7 here at the moment. So 10 point, yeah, about 10 degrees. And it's supposed to get down later. It was 40. Wow. Well, see, that's where that's like Western Australia weather. And Cactus Bill lives in that part of the Cactus Bill lives in that part of the world too. So 4.2 here in the mountains. Oh. Yeah, so it's going to get to 8, but we've got rain at the moment too. So 13 tomorrow, 8 overnight. And we've got 12, 13, 13, 15, 15, 15. School went back and it started raining. As it does. It's funny, in the summer, it's always really hot when school goes back in the summer. And in winter, it's always wet and cold when school goes back. And then the holidays are good. And I am going to head off. I've been on for an hour. I've got a few more things to do before I've got to head to bed tonight. And then days are ticking away. I've got my first day back at work Friday, so we'll be around Friday. Yes, it was a cold wind. I was glad to be home in my bed at home. Do you have any Christmas songs to match the hot weather? Not really. We do have our own version of Christmas carols, some. But no, we sing Dashing Through the Snow, funnily enough. But there has been some people that have written it's called Aussie Jingle Bells. Put it in YouTube, Aussie Jingle Bells, and you'll see about, about it being hot. It's funny, we have to go at the same time, short order, hey? So nice to see everybody. Yeah, do me a favor, hit like and subscribe, and we'll catch you later. And yeah, I'll see you tomorrow, hopefully. Bye for now.